Hi, everybody. Not really sure what possessed me to do this, but I just had this really strong feeling that I should do this. It's September 11th week. It's actually Sunday. Yesterday was September 11th, but I happen to be here, and I thought that I should do this, so I'm doing this. And I know a lot of you might not have ever seen this. Some of you may have, some of you may not have. We're in Long Island National Cemetery, which basically is a final resting place for American service people and their family members. Just walking to this spot, I passed a couple of tombstones for infants, children. There are people here just from where I'm standing. I see World War II, World War I. The point is, being that it's September 11th weekend, I thought that it would be a good idea to show you guys this. Words won't do this justice. I have to just show you. The point is, every single one of these white markers represents somebody that gave their life in service of this country, whether at wartime or peacetime, that all these people, I'm looking at the stones, not all of these people died in war, but everyone that has a marker here was in the service or is an immediate family member of someone who was in the service. Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, Reserves. And I just think that I think that you should just take a look at this. Because that's a lot of stones. That's a lot of markers. Nothing fancy, none of that marble shit. But that's a lot of them. I mean, I don't even know how I could possibly walk around. I gotta be careful because I don't want to step on anything. And, I mean, this is a big place. You don't get to be here unless you were in the service. My point is, I mean, this is just, I can't even get all of it on this video. There's just no way. This place is huge. I just wanted to show you this because we throw these terms around: Veterans Day, Memorial Day, September 11th, the 4th of July. And most of us, I think, understand what that shit means. But have you ever really looked at this? Each one of these markers represents somebody that made a sacrifice to join the armed services of the United States because they cared that much about what this country stands for, and they cared that much about doing their part to help prevent anyone or anything from destroying what this country stands for. They made the sacrifice of spending time away from their loved ones in foreign countries where maybe they didn't speak the language. They put themselves in the line of fire to maybe lose limbs or come back in a body bag because they cared that much about the people that live in this country. Even if they don't know you personally, even if you don't know anybody that's buried in here, like, they all did what they did because they care about you, and they care about me, and they care about us, and they care about the country we live in that much. And there's this many people that did that, and those are just the ones that are here. This isn't the only such cemetery in this country. This one's ours. This is where people that came from Long Island and New York, this is where they wind up. So these are our uncles and fathers and grandfathers and the wives and, in some cases, children of those people. You look over here, I mean, I'm not trying to blow up anybody's spot, but here you have a man who practiced the Jewish faith, buried right next to a man who appears to have been of a Christian denomination. Everybody here is on equal footing. there's a lot of people here. People that were somebody's loved ones. People that somebody still cares about and remembers. People who are still important to people. I couldn't even begin to guess how many people are here. But I'm not even sure why I came here to do this, to make this video. But for some reason, I just thought that it was important that I make it because I wanted you to see this. It keeps going. I could keep walking, and it keeps going. Each one of those white markers represents somebody, a person, like your father or your grandmother. And it goes on and on and on. So I just think, well, you know what? I think it shouldn't have to be September 11th or Memorial Day or Veterans Day to take a few minutes to consider this. The sacrifices, the selfless service that all of these people and their families donated to this nation and us, not because they were looking at what's in it for them, but just because they cared that much. They fought, and in some cases died, for something they believed in that we are all still a part of. And I think it's important to think about that once in a while. Next time you're going about your business, maybe think about how it is that you have the right to be going about your business and that people in other countries maybe don't have those rights. And try to remember that for all of these white markers that represent a person, these are just the sons and daughters of Long Island and New York. There are more burial grounds like this elsewhere in the country. And there are also people still above ground, drawing breath, making this sacrifice today. People who maybe won't get to come home for the holidays and be with their families and their loved ones. Maybe somebody that you know personally. Maybe somebody that's watching this video right now. I don't know. But I just think it's important that we show respect, and I think it's important that we be thankful. And maybe you feel a certain way about, government or the military or politics or whatever. That's your business. And it's your right to feel however you feel and to believe whatever you believe. And all of these people lying here and all the people serving now helped to make sure that you have that right. Remember that. Please. This is important. Now the wind's blowing, so it's going to screw up the sound on the video, so I'm gonna shut it down, but I think I pretty much made my point. Let's maybe, I don't know, take our hats off, have a moment of silence, salute the flag the next time you see a flag. I just wanted you to think about this. And don't make it need to be September 11th to give thanks for the rights we enjoy as Americans.